Tonight we'll have your Halloween forecast, plus declaring a state of emergency.
We're going to help wherever we can to ensure that the basic needs and necessities are met.
The Blackfeet Tribal Council taking measures to keep the community fed, and later stepping up to support Indigenous education.
The covers that were stolen from teepees at Loy and Chief Joseph Elementary School have been replaced by community donors. We'll have more details on MTN News.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Thanks for making KRTV your choice for news at 5:30. I'm Tim McGonigal. Well, it's Halloween, and that means ghosts and goblins are out trick-or-treating. So will the weather be spooky as they gather all that candy? For a first check of the forecast, let's send it over to Eric Johnson in the Storm Tracker Weather Center.
Well, happy Halloween as we are getting ready to head out and do some trick-or-treating tonight. Temperatures are going to be fairly cool, especially into eastern Montana. We'll be slipping into the upper 40s for central Montana, upper 30s into eastern Montana, and we'll stay nice and dry throughout the rest of this evening and into the overnight. And then a big warm-up coming in this weekend as we'll see some very strong winds. Another high wind event likely. We have high wind watches in place across the entire area. That wind is already starting to get a little breezy over towards the Rocky Mountain front in Glacier County, and those winds will only start to pick up into tonight, which will actually keep our temperatures fairly mild. We'll be in the low to mid 40s across central Montana. And then you can see as you work your way further east, Lewistown down to 33 tonight. Glasgow, we are dipping down into the 20s, but those winds will be picking up across the entire area. Down into Helena, we'll dip down into the upper 30s and low 40s tonight. So there's that high wind watch in place for this weekend. It goes from Saturday afternoon through Sunday afternoon. East of I-15, gusts over 60 miles per hour possible, even higher gusts possible west of I-15. I'll have more details on the wind this weekend coming up.
Hemp is a growing industry in Montana and the country. According to the Hemp Industry and Farmers of America, hemp supports $13 billion in U.S. wages. And Montana is consistently among the nation's leading producers. From health benefits to industrial uses, the plant serves many purposes. But as I found out, politics are threatening to rip the roots out from this agricultural sector.
And you can see some of this.
Sam Armstrong has been growing hemp on his farm near Choteau for 8 years. Some growing seasons, like this one, have been tougher than others.
The snowpack in the mountains was very low. Our normal water that we're able to irrigate with was probably cut to half of normal.
We had a plan to trench it.
North of Sims, Derek Gustafson has grown hemp since 2019. First for a seed crop before moving to a flower crop and overcoming challenges along the way.
The market kind of fell out with COVID, so we've had tough luck with it, but you know, we're gaining knowledge. Every year we grow.
But it's pending legislation in Washington that could present an immovable obstacle for the industry.
As it's written right now, it would shut our business down.
Pat Farrell runs Big Sky Scientifics in Sun River. Supplied by farmers like Armstrong and Gustafson, they extract CBD out of hemp, which is then sold to manufacturers who make retail products.
Minor cannabinoids found in hemp are used for all sorts of different things. So from inflammation to anxiety to sleep, you name it.
Federal hemp legalization is the result of a loophole in the 2018 Farm Bill. Farrell says language in the bill that could open the government threatens that, and in turn, the livelihoods of his more than 40 employees.
We wanted to reinvest in this community, right? We wanted to see this impact Montana, and we wanted to see this impact the surrounding area of Great Falls, right? We could have put this anywhere in the world, and we decided to put it right here.
Armstrong has other crops to rotate, but losing hemp, especially when those other commodity prices are low, makes things difficult.
Having another viable option like hemp that is profitable right now is, I mean, for our farm, essential to continue to operate because, yeah, there's little to no margin in regular cropping production.
You can see those crystals in there.
Gustafson has grown other crops in the past on his 400-acre farm, but now it's all about hemp.
There's 100 uses for this crop. It's an amazing plant, and it needs to be an option for growers in Montana and all over the country for that matter.
It's not fair to our farmers, it's not fair to us, and it's not fair to the consumers of these products that it benefits.
On Tuesday, the Blackfeet Nation declared a state of emergency in response to the ongoing SNAP crisis. The declaration comes as federal funding for the food assistance program is set to pause on Saturday due to the government shutdown. MTN's Brianna Juneau has more.
The Blackfeet Tribal Business Council says it's taking immediate action to help feed families across the reservation, authorizing the culling of 18 buffalo from the Blackfeet Nation herd to provide fresh meat to community members. The decision comes as the tribe declares a state of emergency in response to the ongoing federal government shutdown and uncertainty surrounding the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP.
Some of it is still yet to be understood, but we had held out hope that they would find a way to get the SNAP food benefits issued to all Montanans, including Native nations. And unfortunately, as of today, that didn't happen. Definitely going to impact those that are most vulnerable on the Blackfeet Reservation.
Tribal Chairman Rodney Jarvis Jr. says the tribe's top priority is ensuring access to food and security across all reservation communities, from Babb and Cutbank to Star School and Heart Butte.
We have grandmothers raising grandchildren. We have great-grandparents raising their great-grandchildren. And so on a fixed income, like a lot of families are here, it's going to be very detrimental to the outcome and their success and having food stability, food security.
Once the meat is processed, it will go through the reservation's Food Distribution Program Commodity Office that will also work with the Fast Blackfeet Food Pantry.
We're going to work hand in hand with them. We're going to work with all of our programs to establish resources.
Meanwhile, the federal shutdown continues with little progress in Washington. The Senate adjourned Thursday and won't meet again until Monday, extending the shutdown into its 34th day, tying the longest government funding lapse in U.S. history. Funding for SNAP is set to expire this Saturday on November 1st, possibly leaving more than 42 million Americans, including many tribal communities, without food benefits.
So we just hold out, and of course we have hope and faith, and we keep moving forward, and we hope for a better day, but it just seems to be getting worse and worse. We hope it goes better.
In Browning, Brianna Juneau, MTN News.
Well, it's been about a month since the covers to lodges, also known as teepees, were stolen from Chief Joseph and Loy elementary schools. But community members have stepped up to help cover the cost of replacing them. MTN's Justin Robichaud has more on this touching gesture.
Back in September, covers from teepees were stolen at Loy and Chief Joseph elementary schools. Generous donors in the community have stepped up with replacements.
It was very touching and overwhelming when we had people calling and saying they had lodges to replace them, and then we also had people saying just order some and we'll pay for them. You know, didn't ask what the cost was.
GFPS Director of Indigenous Education Dugan Coburn says the teepees allow educators to share the history of Native American culture with students.
It's an opportunity for us to share with the kids stories that go with the teepees and the lodges. The lodges were the homes of our ancestors, but there's a lot of stories go with them. Each tribe had a different story of why they were important.
For Loy Elementary School Principal Shanda Brown, the teepees represent a rich Native American culture in the Big Sky State.
Our lodges are so important just to all of our schools because of the Native American culture that we have, indigenous culture that is alive here in Montana, and the opportunity to experience that culture is very unique.
Coburn says the outpouring of support means the world to him.
It makes your heart happy that these things are happening and that our community is that supportive of our school district and our indigenous kids here in Great Falls.
Coburn says November is Native American Heritage Month, and 12 teepees will be set up at North Middle School and light them up at night for the public to see on November 7th. In Great Falls, Justin Robichaud, MTN News.
This Saturday, the Lewis and Clark Library is celebrating Native American Heritage Month and the unveiling of a new permanent display. The new display came about through a partnership with Helena Indian Alliance and represents all of Montana's recognized tribal flags. In celebration from 11 a.m. to noon, there will be a social with fry bread, drumming, and singing, as well as special presentations about the flags.
We were working with them on ways to honor and respect our tribal nations that are so integral to Montana's history and its present and future. So we wanted to do that in the best way possible, and they recommended a tribal flag exhibit.
You can visit this story on our website to learn more ways the library is honoring Native culture. Election Day is right around the corner. Great Falls voters will decide who will serve the next 2 years as mayor. There are 2 candidates vying for the seat, the incumbent, Corey Reeves, and Jasmine Taylor. Both say they're focused on the future of the electric city. MTN's Madison Collier spoke with the candidates.
Ballots for this year's election were sent out on October 20th. This November, voters are deciding between 2 familiar community faces, Mayor Corey Reeves and candidate Jasmine Taylor.
I'm passionate about Great Falls. I love this community. I love the grit. I love the people. We have phenomenal work ethic here in this community. There's so much potential, and I think we've steered the ship in a different direction.
Reeves, a former law enforcement officer, says his main focus is improving city infrastructure, maintaining public safety, and continuing efforts to expand housing development across Great Falls.
My top priority is ensuring we have a good public safety. People want to live, work, and play in a community where they feel safe.
Candidate Jasmine Taylor has been a state of Montana employee for about 14 years with a master's degree in public administration and a background in policy work and community advocacy.
That I think both my experience as an activist, but also my educational and professional experience makes me really qualified to go in and look at systemic problems and basically address the root issues and come up with solutions.
Taylor says she would prioritize transparency in the city operations and focus on long-term planning for housing affordability and economic growth if elected.
The city's role in housing is to protect the folks that already live here rather than look out for the profits of corporations that may want to make housing here, but it's not affordable.
Both candidates say they want to strengthen Great Falls' economic base and ensure growth that benefits residents citywide.
Election Day is Tuesday, November 4th. You can find the extended interviews with both mayoral candidates on our website.
We are adding to the store and expanding. That's kind of how we've made it over all these years. My mom started the store over 16 years ago.
A new expansion is making its Halloween debut. That story coming up.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Montana PBS is inviting the public to a community conversation from 6 to 8 p.m. Monday, November 3rd. That will be held at the Brothers Tap Works in downtown Helena. The discussion comes after federal funding cuts left the network with a $1.8 million shortfall, about 20% of its annual budget. PBS leaders will talk about the impact, share plans for the future, and take questions from the community. Attendees can also catch highlights from recent Montana PBS programs. A popular downtown Great Falls shop is adding a new attraction just in time for Halloween, one that's already drawing crowds and a lot of smiles. MTN's Quentin Shores takes us inside.
When Great Falls residents think of Stranger Things, if they aren't thinking about the show, they're thinking about the metaphysical crystal store downtown. But what you may not know is they've upgraded recently.
Are you all ready? Are you going to do it? Sure. Okay, perfect.
Isaiah Partain, son of the owner of Stranger Things, had a great idea to add something to the store that would make the people of Great Falls Day just a little bit brighter.
We actually did a pretty big investment to a company. We bought the machine and a bunch of product. We bought like a pallet of fluff and stuffing.
The investment being a stuffing machine for stuffed animals. Isaiah got the idea after seeing it at a fair and thought it would be worth bringing to the store.
We knew there was nothing like this in the community, and that community needed something to bring it back to life and bring joy to people.
And clearly it's working, as the store location is busier than ever. Lines filled with adults and kids who choose a stuffed animal from the shelf, a scent, and then get to stuff it with fluffing and a whole lot of love.
Can you say thank you?
The grand opening will take place on October 31st, and trick-or-treaters in the downtown area can stop by the Stranger Things store for candy, soda, and the chance to get a free Build-A-Buddy. In Great Falls, I'm Quentin Shores, MTN News.